Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
Dave, you're on mute.
All right, we're having a bit of trouble here. Sorry, guys, that's my fault, mute. But yeah, we're having a few hassles here in the studio, guys. It's someone just put in the comments. I was just looking for it. Riders on the storm, and we are certainly all riders of this storm at this present time, guys. All right, and this storm is getting wild. You know, you got Rome in Italy, you got Madrid in Spain, you got the UK and Ireland all on fire. Got a lot of people coming together and standing up, but we got a lot of chaos happening now. I've been putting a bit of thought into Britain, and then I saw Nicola Charles. She put out a little thing on, I don't know where it was, but yeah, it was one of the things I was flicking through today. I think it was on Twitter. And Nicola sort of made a lot of sense, you know what I mean? Because I've been trying to work out what the hell was going on over here and how they've accomplished it. And I think, she and maybe some of our other thoughts are probably right on the money, guys. And that is that the UN are in amongst the immigrants. Not all of them are immigrants, guys. They're UN soldiers, all right? They're just not in uniform. Oh, all right. That's, her little thing there. So more or less is what's, seems to be happening, guys, is that the UN are on the ground with the I'm not going to name them, you know who I'm talking about, right? Those people are running around with knives and machetes and carrying on, and the UN will be involved in that, all right? So the plan seems to be that this will continue in England, Ireland, right at this present time. Why? Until they can bring in the digital ID, guys. So they're going to keep the pressure on them until they crack them, right, to get the digital ID in. So this is where they're going, the UN soldiers. This is why also, I don't know if it's in that bit there, but yeah, the police have stood down. The police are doing nothing. Why? Because the country's signed treaties that the UN has rights. So whether the UN are in disguise, and not in their blue, they don't know about their blue hats, mate. They're there anyway. So that looks like what's going down over there, guys. Now, that is somewhat a little bit troubling, but it's nothing we didn't expect. All right, these guys are well organized, well planned. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. But the best thing I can say to Britain and that is don't go out, don't do it. You know what I mean? If you give them nothing to, it's like we were talking about last night. If you don't give them anything to attack, all right, the enemy's not going to attack you. I think Britain needs to just sit back at the moment, not comply. All right, but certainly not group up where these guys can actually, get hold of them. A few of the Yanks were talking today, and the word is over there. If it gets bad, no one go out in the street. Do not go out in the street looking for it. All right, it'll come to your door. When it comes to your door, the Yanks are, pretty well telling you that no one's coming past their front gate, and if they do, they have what it takes to stop them. So it's starting to heat up, guys. The attitudes are changing, not the way that we, as God-fearing Christians, may want it to play out, but it is certainly going to get rough, guys. That's what we can see from everything out there. All right. So quickly, I got a few clips left here. I had to get rid of heaps because we're having internet issues and it wouldn't carry more. But funnily enough, inhumane jail cell breach UN rules, report fines down in Tasmania, guys. So now, what are they doing? Trying to soften us up a bit here. The accommodation they've got there for us is not up to scratch, not up to UN standards, rules. I don't know what the rules were, but is that because, maybe they haven't got surveillance or gassing facilities in each cell? I don't really know, but for them to be calling out inhumane jail cells as a breach of the UN rules, start sniffing around, guys. We know what happens. All right, we know what goes on. Right. The green transition, guys, is being pushed harder in Australia than anywhere else in the world. And we know what they're trying to do. We know what they're taking the land. They're getting the seas ready, the oceans ready, and they think that they are going to say, I'm just letting you know again, all right, we need to get to our councils. We need to get involved, and we need to stop this stuff, guys, or they are going to try and roll over the top of you. All right, and we think now that, their game plan in England is exactly that. They'll bring in this digital ID one way or the other. They're about to use all those cameras set up to start hurting these people and taking them out who are out in the streets. I can tell you that right now. They don't care. All right, they're under UN orders, and it's on, guys. It is on for young and old. National shame. Kids facing life on couches and in tents. How sad, guys, that a country like Australia, right, is now... looks like a lot of our children will be, rat and mold infested houses. The nation's housing and homeless minister has been told on her first week on the job. Well, if it's your first week on the job, best you get your shit together and start and put these frigging politicians on notice. Now, we did have some people also go, guys, while I'm just flicking in here, to the actual, as we always do, we had people head to the One Nation thing. I think it was last night, up in somewhere on the Central Coast somewhere. And, we'll put a bit of that out on the show tomorrow night, guys. Some straight out questions were asked by one of our people. And apparently the answers were given. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but, let's have a listen to it. And we can discuss that tomorrow night. Now, you saw that top UK cop. If you haven't, what he done was he stormed out of a meeting. He got approached by media. He ripped the camera off a guy's gimbal, right, and threw it on the ground, or the mic off the gimbal. It was something. So they can't even talk, guys. All right. Why? Because they're under UN treaty. All right. I think we're working out what's going on here, guys. All right. It is the UN treaty. The UN are on the ground with these other people that are running around with knives and that. All right. We got to be careful about our language now, guys. Anyway, California harnessing solar power to thanks big battery boom, providing a glimpse into Australia's energy future. Well, I can tell you California's green energy is not going so well, guys. So, again, we don't want to be doing anything like they're doing over there. Now, this is interesting. We have a scabies outbreak, and we've had this confirmed because my mum's actually in hospital, and one of these hospitals is the one that she's in. Wollongong, Coldale, Shell Harbour, and Bulli hospitals, local to the area, guys, all right? We have a scabies outbreak. Now, Mel asked questions today on how they were going to treat it. guess how they're going to treat it. That's probably the last one we'll do, and we'll bring Cazz in. I got a couple more there, but come in, Cazz. Ivermectin, guys. They are going to treat it with ivermectin. 2 pills, one day, 7 days apart. Yep. 7 days apart. 2 pills. They're going to be treating the scabies with ivermectin. Are we allowed to say that word now, Cazz? Let's all do it. Ivermectin. This is a freaking clown show, man. What a clown show. Anyway, how are you, Cazz?
No, good. But, it's funny because, like, there's so much stuff coming out, like, with regards to everything, and it's really just not being covered. And we do our best to cover it, of course, but we just can't cover everything.
We can't
but
cover
even
everything.
now, you've actually got the COVID curse is worse than a disease. The studies found. Now, this is in a mainstream media paper, and so it's basically
Hang on.
there's an admission.
One of the ones I didn't put out, Cazz. COVID spreads among the Australian Olympic team. So watch this space, guys. Watch this space. They're going to come home now, and they're going to have oh no, this is just like, who's a scriptwriter?
Well, there's actually some interesting stuff with regards to the Olympics as well, like a little bit further on. But just what you were saying about the green energy thing, what's interesting is Ben Fordham's reporting that the Australia Post has called it quits on the green goal. They've dumped carbon neutral derivatives. They're in the second major company to throw in the towel on net zero. So it's interesting when it comes down to the dollar, how everybody just basically ends up dumping on the idea. But anyway, look, big news. Yeah. Let's have a look at it.
Scary. Don't say that.
We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. Down 6% right from the get-go. This is heavy. Big tech. Here we go. Look at them go down.
All right, this guy has done a breakdown. It's pretty good. I won't play the whole lot of it because it is a bit long, but he's got he explains
100 billion in Australian markets.
Trillions.
No, but just Australia. Australia was 100 billion. I think we lost straight away.
All right, so look, this guy's done a breakdown on it.
And Bitcoin crash overnight. Here's your simple 2-minute explanation. Now it's all down to this thing called the carry trade. The carry trade is the definition of get rich quick scheme, right? Because what you're trying to do is borrow money, taking out loans at very low interest rates. Where's got the lowest interest rates in the world? In Japan, right? So we take out a huge bank loan in Japan for 0.3%. Now we know we can make a lot higher return like that elsewhere in the world. For example, UK interest rates are over 5%, US interest rates are over 5%. So we need to change this Japanese yen into a currency that's going to earn us a higher interest rate. So we do a foreign exchange, right? Now it takes 155 yen to buy $1. So we've moved our yen into dollars and pounds and everything with higher interest rates, right? So now you've got all this money and you go and invest it. You invest it in Bitcoin, you invest it in Apple, you invest it in Nvidia, AMD. So that's great. Now you've got all these investments that are earning high returns and you've got a debt that you pay very low interest on. What could possibly go wrong? Well, what went wrong is last week the Japanese central bank did a surprise interest rate hike, which makes the yen a lot more attractive. When it's attractive, then the exchange rate changes.
All right, so basically, that's what happened is that Japan put up their interest rates. It was like a really smidgen, but this is what's caused it. But the full video of that will be available on the website. Did you want to comment on that, Dave?
Yeah, look, we've all been warned for a long time. You know, we've all known what's going on. So people, you just got to be awake to it. You know what I mean? I hope everyone's done what they had to do.
Now, there is an indication that Warren Buffett might have known beforehand, because this economist is actually saying on Alex Jones that he deliberately triggered the stock market crash because he sold off all of his Apple stocks the day before.
Off heaps.
Yep. He's actually down. He's sitting very pretty in cash at the moment. So very interesting what's happened there. Look, we've got a little bit of Olympic news. Okay, but what's funny about this is the Asians don't usually pay out on the Olympics, and these guys have done a really funny thing. So it's really interesting that that's happened. So, and also, of course, you've got Babylon B, and he's got here, referee warns Olympic women's boxing finalists not to punch each other in the testicles.
Exactly right. Yeah. Two biological males fighting for the world's gold title. You know, guys, if anyone's watching this show doesn't watch it before, that should be enough to make you research. Two guys fighting for the women's gold at the Olympics. What in the hell is the world's ups? What's ups down? What's sideways is sideways the opposite way. You know, it's just incredible. It's just a whole upside down world, and that's what they're pushing it to. Everything the opposite of what it should be, guys.
That's it, inversion. All right, there's lots of footage here of what's going on in the UK. This is Muslim gangs attacking Brits in cafes.
Oh, the battery!
Look at this.
Cafes.
Yeah, you don't even want to see it, guys. If you don't like violence, that's just people trying to drive through the street. You know, this is you don't want this here, guys. You do not want this in this country. I advise you, everybody, to get to there. Every one of you people on this screen to get to a council meeting the next time your council meeting comes up, and you start telling them that we're not going to put up with this, guys. Take it back. All right. We're going to be winners, guys. You got to get a winning mentality. You can't get a winning mentality, and you can't friggin' win if you're not in the game. And if you're not at the council meetings at the moment or the school boards, you are not in the game.
This guy also, this British Muslim also posted this on social media.
Idiot! We're coming to fucking blow you away, you motherfuckers!
Now, what happened is, did the police show up at his place? No. Guess where the police showed up?
20 to 3, 1440, arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network.
What?
127 Communications Act.
Right.
Okay, so you do not have to say anything that may harm the defence if you don't mention one question, subject which later on in court.
How dare he put a post up?
Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're
arrested.
going to be arrested, okay?
Right,
So
and-
go to the police station.
Right.
Okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Have you got anything in your pocket?
Now, this is some posts that have been it's not stopping people. Not wanting to murder kids is normal, not far right. And you've also got this little reminder. I thought this guy had been deported, but Rochdale grooming gang ringleader 54 is still living in Britain nearly 9 years after he was meant to have been deported to Pakistan over sickening child sex offenders. That was a horrific case. I don't know if anyone else has read about it, but it was just unbelievable. I probably can't say it on here because we'll get banned, but that was just horrific. And we've got the what's his name? The Aussie Viking. He's weighed in on it.
Prime Minister of Australia has declared that the threat of terrorism within our own borders is now probable. A threat he himself is responsible for because it does not come from our fellow Australians who have lived, loved and laboured in this land for generations. No, this threat has arisen due to decades of incompetent politicians and bureaucrats from both Liberal and Labor who have actively eroded our national sovereignty and thrust open our borders. They are looking for a crisis like that facing Europe and the UK, so that they can usher in more control, so they can tighten their grip around us. All while branding those who love their country and stand for common sense as right-wing extremists. But there is nothing extreme about wanting to preserve the country that our forefathers fought and died to uphold. Nothing radical about wanting a safe and prosperous society for our children and grandchildren. And nothing extreme about wanting strong borders and to put the Australian people first in.
Look, we'll leave it there, but you can see the full video, of course, on the website. So yeah, stop the right, sack the lock, guys.
Well, you know, everyone's telling us what's going. We know what's going on. My point is, when are we going? When are we going to go and change it, guys? When are we going to go and, you know, we're in the, you stepped into the first 10, 15 minutes of the game here. You know, I told you last night how to play it. Like, and this is what we're going to have to do, guys. You're going to have to get to your councils because you are in trouble. You are in trouble.
All right, so I just want to play this. This is just terrible what's going on in Bangladesh. Okay, this is the Hindus. It's just. So what's happened is the government has stood down. They've actually, Bangladesh Prime Minister resigns, and she's apparently fled the country. But there's just all-out war being declared on the Hindus at the moment, and there's footage of them everywhere, and it's just absolutely vile. It's so horrible.
It's just ridiculous, guys. You know, like we knew it was coming. All right, as I said, you know, let's get to Saturday. Let's have this. You know, Friday and Saturday, let's have this massive, whatever it is, space-a-thon, all right, rumble-a-thon, whatever we're going to call it, okay, but with Michael Griffiths, and everyone's going to go be there, guys. It's a unification, all right, and we need this to be the start of us coming together, man, and taking this thing back. I'm telling you. So, again, we'll have Michael on Thursday night, and we'll be discussing the weekend, so...
That's it. All right, we've got the PM on social cohesion.
And how we need to nourish it. His words. Would you say he's nourishing social cohesion by bringing into Australia people from a war zone who've been indoctrinated to hate Westerners without adequate security checks?
I think the Prime Minister has failed to uphold social cohesion for the last 9 months at every opportunity. He's failed to adequately condemn the instances of anti-Semitism that we've seen in our community. He's failed to ensure that the law is enforced to stop people doing it. And he's playing with fire with issues like this when he brings people into our country from an area which is a war zone, which is controlled by a terrorist organisation without adequate vetting or checks. We don't understand how it is possible in 24 hours on average, but in some instances just 1 hour, to do an identity check, let alone a security check on someone, and to now contemplate extending their stay in Australia on a more permanent basis is in total contravention to the original visas they were granted, which are temporary visitor visas.
All right, we'll leave it there. But look, that's actually on Sky News. That's on mainstream media, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay, Lizzie, Lozzie, you're carrying on about she's not transgender. Well, both tests come back XY chromosomes. All right, so I don't know. But anyway, the point is they are publicising, all right, and we know that we've at least got, well, you know, I'm saying males. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, the tests were there. XY chromosomes, what does it say? So if I'm wrong, I'm here to be corrected, but I'll stick by what I've seen at the moment.
No, the boxing committee actually came out and said that was the issue as well. They were both genetic. They were both males. So yeah.
Yep.
All right, you got Peter Dutton, and listen to what he's got to say. Interesting.
No doubt. For when you speak to friends and family in Victoria, for example, there is a long tail and a huge mental impact on young people, in particular young girls. The talk of massive increases in relation to mental health needs, etc., and many families tie that back to the very significant heavy hand of Daniel Andrews with the lockdowns in Victoria. None of that, though, should give rise to the sort of conduct that you're referring to. And I would say to anybody in our community, whether it's within your friendship group, your family group, the work group, whatever it might be, where you see somebody's behaviour changing, regardless of their motivation or if they've changed radically their thoughts about society and government, etc., you need to report that information to ASIO or to the Australian Federal Police.
So, I reported myself. Australian Federal Police and ASIO, I better report myself, given that our excess death rate is at an all-time high and they're importing immigrants at 1 per minute during a housing crisis. I think they're doing a shit job. It
That
was
was
removed.
That's what Cazz put. Now, on my reply to that, before you go into that next one that Mick's done, is so if I don't conform to a belligerent, tyrannical government that has sold our country to the UN, and I don't want your bioweapon, but I want bodily autonomy within my God-given rights, you want me locked up? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Your government loves you to death, in capital letters. So that was my reply to Dutton. Have we all replied, guys?
And Michael Gray Griffiths, he weighed in on it as well.
Here it is.
Hi, ACO. Yeah, look, I've never really done this before, but I'm really concerned about the state of the country, and I've seen that you want us to dob people of concern in. So I'd like to dob in Prime Minister Albanese. I mean, the man seems to have just really lost it, and instead of bringing the country together, he just seems to want to spread fear and divide us. And then Voldemort. Sorry, Dutton. Sorry, I get mixed up because I think they have the same hairdresser. And that other organisation. You. I wonder if there's a mirror there. You can look in the mirror and go, what are we doing? We're Australians. We don't dob each other in. We can have differences of opinion. Maybe just check that out. And in case you missed it, go fuck yourself.
Maybe we all just start rigging ASIO and dobbing ourselves in, guys. You know, they got us all anyway.
Video it, and I'll be doing that when I find some time. I think just saying, this is what I think. I should job myself in because you got to admit they're doing a shit job.
Yeah, unreal.
All right. It is unreal.
And it's up to us.
Yeah. Look, the consequences that we've got though is that you've got stuff like this, and we don't actually need police. We actually need good police. But you've got this where Ben Fordham has been reporting that police officers are throwing in the towel. The number of cops leaving the force is now outweighing new recruits. Robert says they're fed up, stressed out, and have had a gutful. Look, we need good police. Every society needs their warrior class, okay? We just need the corruption gone. That's it. We need to get rid of and they need it, as Monica so well put here out the front of her hearing, or actually her trial, the trial that she's conducting is that here.
How you going? Do you think it's a waste of police resources and state funding to be prosecuting Monica Smith now all these years later?
If they can't treat me differently because they disagree with my political bias, similarly, they should not be taking a knee at Black Lives Matter because they agree with that. This has now come up to political discrimination, whether activism and journalism can happen at the same time, which of course they can, and also what our freedoms of speech are in this country and how Victoria Police can be used as the government's private army. All of this is coming up simply because they arrested the wrong chick.
Good work. So, yeah, they did.
Look, we've just got to keep the pressure on all avenues, guys, because, they are trying to get us, all right? We know what they're doing, all right? They're trying to push in from the flanks, all right? Only way to do this, guys, is to spread out, all right? Spread out, get to our councils, get to our schools, all right? And they just go through the gaps. Okay, but while no one's doing anything, guys, I'm telling you, mark my words, and it's not me. I give it a fella upstairs, but we're never wrong. We're never wrong on what we say in this show. All right, a couple of times maybe, just been a bit out on timing, but whatever we've told you has been correct. It's come. It's got here. It's time, guys. It's time.
Yeah, here's a report from what's going on in Melbourne with the police still. This is why the police are frustrated as well.
Officers say they're fighting crime with one arm tied behind their backs after Victoria's latest bail shock. This time, 2 adult accused career criminals were arrested in Melbourne's northeast, only to be freed within hours. Cassie Zervos has this exclusive report.
Boxed in with nowhere to hide after a 60-minute crime spree. The pair wanted over an alleged aggravated burglary, but within hours of their arrest, the duo, both known to police, were bailed and back on our streets.
Because Labor weakened the laws, it's now catch and release. People don't feel the need to comply with their bail conditions because it's not an offence anymore.
The alleged thieves are the latest crooks to benefit from the government's recent bail reforms, accused of stealing this Honda while the homeowners were fast asleep.
My wife's very shaken up about it, and obviously, again, with the little one, it is a real stress, so we've changed our locks.
You can have armed people breaking into your house while you're there, and under Labor's laws, it's simply regarded as being a property offence, not an offence against the person.
GPS technology was used to track the car through suburbs including Sunshine West, then onto the Ring Road, back towards Fawkner and on towards Mill Park. The pair was charged with aggravated burglary, theft of a motor vehicle, weapons offences and driving offences.
Super disappointing, really, the fact that they can just get away with, doing whatever they like.
The state government denies that changes in bail laws have made it easier for high-risk offenders to walk free. Police sources have described the new bail laws as frustrating and not up to the community standards or expectations.
So, as you can see, it's even hard for it's even hard when they're trying to do a good job and actually arrest the wrong people.
Yeah.
So, and most of the time, they're actually sent out as the thugs against us.
Look, this problem of everyone, this is all by design, Caz, and you and I know it, all right? They break down the morality of the police force, so everybody leaves, and they bring in the migrants and you know what I'm talking about, who they are, people, right? They don't even have to. They've got the UN on the ground as well. They slip them in. They don't care. This is all by design. This is what they want. They want your cops to leave the job. It's all by design. And the longer we sit here and watch them design your friggin' life and my life, the worse off we are. I'm going to get into you guys. It is time. You need to get to whatever upcoming council meetings are on and start and win. Start and let the opposition know you are here. Because at the moment, you're getting fucking flogged. Excuse the French, flogged. You're not in the game. And we're not. Because they're running riot. They're the only person with a friggin' team on the pitch at the venue where the game's being played. Council. Anyway.
Well, this is a really great speech. And yeah, you sent this one to me, actually.
Successfully weaponised climate change to terrify people, corporate socialists seized upon COVID-19, a more tangible and immediate threat. Now, I have to believe that immigrants to this country who fled from tyranny must watch in despair what is happening to their adopted country. Never in their wildest dreams would they have imagined the country they chose as a refuge would practice what they sacrificed to escape. And it's not only immigrants. Most ordinary Australians would never have believed any local police force, Victorian or otherwise, would shoot rubber bullets at fleeing demonstrators who were protesting about their loss of freedoms during the world's then longest lockdowns. And nor would they have imagined that a young pregnant woman in front of her infant children could be taken away in handcuffs for daring to post on Facebook a call for people to resist their loss of liberty. Now, Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is not alone in condoning this callous behaviour. Who can forget the death of an unborn child whose New South Wales mother was in desperate need of urgent medical attention but was denied access to a Gold Coast hospital because Queensland hospitals are for Queenslanders? That was a contemptible decision at the time, and I think it remains a stain on our nation.
Now, to have speeches like that going on at CPAC is unbelievable, guys. That's unreal. I take my hat off to that gentleman there. Sir, you've done very, very well. And, yeah, that's what we need more of.
That's exactly right. You've also got this situation where, and this is, I checked this out, Senator Babbitt tweeted out, the world is controlled by satanic pedophiles. It's amazing because Dave talks about us being the climate change, and you can see it everywhere. We're influencing all of these people to actually come out and speak and say these things.
Start talking.
They would never have done this 5 years ago.
Yeah, come on the show and have a chat, Ralphie boy. Come on, don't be scared. Guru's not scary. Cazz is here. She'll look after you. You know, Oh, you just come and have a chat, mate. Come and talk to the people.
He's a
If
big
you're doing the right
softy.
thing, you got nothing to worry about. And, you know, you got nothing to worry about anyway. I'm a nice bloke. I just want the truth. That's it. But, yeah, thanks for putting that out there, Ralphie. I'm glad you're waking up to the real problems of the world, Mr. Babbitt. I say that I'm not being sarcastic there. I'm glad you are waking up to the true problems of the world, Ralph.
That's it. All right, look, you've got this situation. This is actually Jerome Powell, and he is head of the Federal Reserve, and he's actually admitted this.
So eliminating the Federal Reserve is best for promoting economic stability.
Yes.
Thank you.
Eliminating the Federal Reserve is best for economic stability. Okay, so
Well,
why
that
is it
just
important?
leaves the Bank of International Settlement to look after everything, doesn't it? Because they look after the reserve.
Well, the thing is, though, that it's the fact that he's admitted it. So now, don't forget that Ron Paul, during his tenure in the Senate, tried every year to get the Federal Reserve audited, and fought long and hard to try and get an audit done on it. And they were so closed shop. And, you know, he had to fight tooth and nail. So, but what they've done since they've taken over centralized banking is they have inflated the money supply. So people will have lots of money. There's lots of money in the system. And so then they invest and they build businesses and things like that. Then they contract the money supply, which forces people, there's not as much money in the system. And so what happens is people then start going broke. They need to start selling their businesses and things like that. Then the banks come in and buy up all of the stuff. And this is how they've been able to consolidate the wealth. So it's just incredible that that's actually an admission.
Yeah, no, you're right, mate. Just keep going for a minute, Caz. I'm just getting something.
Yeah, well,
here.
I just want to play this on.
How many days you're working just to pay taxes. And this is how many days you work to pay for things that you need to live on.
Now, Malcolm Roberts did a study on this some years ago, and he worked out that with all of the taxes like petrol taxes and things like that, you work until lunchtime Thursday in order. So it's actually worse here in Australia. They were doing the United States, but it's actually worse here in Australia. So you work till Thursday lunchtime, and then what from Thursday lunchtime, so you get the money that you get Thursday and Friday is basically what you earn. So you're working all week. And she's complaining that they're working for 5 months. Okay, it's actually worse here in Australia. That's the crazy part about it.
Okay, well, I'm trying to put a banner up, guys. I don't know if it's got up there, but it says it went up there somewhere, and it's just ASIO's phone number, 1-800 020 648.
Caz, can you put it up for me?
Do Elbow a favour and dob yourself in.
I will. Yep. Let's all dob ourselves in, guys.
Yeah.
And ask them why they're not why they're not doing their damn job and actually looking into these damn politicians, because we know that they're all dodgy.
Arrest an elbow. So
Local
let's all
government.
ring up and tell them what you think.
I'll just go and have a look for that while we play this.
Well, here's something that local governments really don't want you to know. When you apply for a permit on your property, build a fence, install a septic tank, add a guest house, you are not asking them for permission to do the thing. What you are really signing over is you are giving them permission to come and inspect you anytime they please without a warrant. And this is why they're so crazy about you having a permit for everything. It's so when they feel the need to inspect you, all they have to do is come over and violate your rights and show you that you are the one that signed over permission to them to do that. No warrant required. So remember this when they tell you you need a permit for this, permit for that. They're not telling you that you need their permission to do the thing. They're asking you for permission to violate your rights, because evil cannot enter your home without an invitation.
Interesting.
All right, there you go. I did get a banner up, and I did have ASIO on the screen. I done really well there. I'm stoked. I actually got it up there. Yeah.
It's awesome. Now, I'll tell you something really interesting about God. I'll let you do your run out. But what we've been taken out on is I Am the Storm. Okay, it's by Titus O'Neill. But somebody at the beginning of the show said I Am the Storm. And it's just crazy how these things tie in. You know, so Yeah. Anyway, Dave,
Yeah,
I'll let you
ride
do
the
your run
storm.
out.
Ride the storm. I think they had. Yeah, it took God. Oh man, we missed the pref. Oh, Melissa, man, I get caught up during the day. I need to set an alarm, man. All right, get to the Aussie space at 3 p.m, guys. All right, seriously. But you want to know about God? Yeah. All right. So we're here last night. As you know, my mum's in hospital. All right. Mel's sitting here going, you know, like, is this after the show?
No, before.
Before the show. Oh, yeah, because you got in really late.
Yeah.
So Mel's see your mum, and I'm going, look, Mel, I don't know. Oh, well, and Mel's sitting here, you know, and I'm going, listen, I can't make up your mind for you, Mel. You got me?
Yeah, now go.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. And I said, look, I can't make up your mind for you, Mel. You know, if you want to go up and see her, go up and see her. Mel just gets up because she wasn't going to go, all right? We're just going to do the show, right? And she wasn't here for the show last night. And she wasn't in tonight because there wasn't enough Wi-Fi here to run 2 computers. Guys, that's how much they're cracking us, okay? So anyway, she heads up to the hospital. She gets up to the hospital, and my mum's just looked at her and the jaws hit the ground. And Mel, tell her what they said.
Oh, she cried and she said, I was just sitting on my chair praying to God that Mel would come back. And then she said, if Mel couldn't, someone else could please come. And she just broke down as soon as she saw me.
So there you go, guys. Mel took that feeling in her gut as if to say, God's telling me to go and see Norma. She gets up there to find that Mum's been sitting in a chair praying for Mel to go to the hospital.
She was just beside herself.
Guys, that's how in touch with the Lord you need to be. This is how you need to be able to discern. You know, and I'm not saying me and my missus are anything special or Cazz, right? But I tell you what, we live by someone, and it's the big fella, mate.
And just listen to
him. All right, and listen to him, right? And act and react, all right? And he'll keep you safe, but he'll also get you to do the right things. That's a remarkable story last night. You know what I mean? To get up there to find Mum just like bawling her eyes out, you know, praying for Mel to turn up there, and Mel just turns up. So, guys, trust in the good Lord, eh? He's got your back. All right, get up, do him a favor. Get up every morning, say good day to him. Thank him for putting on the armor, and get out there and get into this friggin' battle, guys. Let's go. Come on. Let's get all our councils back. It's simple. Get your schoolyards back for your children. Start there. But I'm telling you, guys, you are all in big trouble if we, us people here who know better, don't get out and start reacting now. Okay? All right, guys. See you tomorrow night.
Good night, guys.
Picture, if you will, the mightiest of storms, a clash of elements that gives birth to chaos. That is the essence of who we are. We are not idle bystanders. We are the storm itself. Fierce and unyielding, raging against any threat that seeks to dominate us. Ours is a tale of unrivaled power, unwavering determination and relentless passion. A never-ending story of a tempest-born, thunderous force that refuses to be contained. We are the ones who dance under the flash in the sky, who roar along with the rumble that shakes the earth, and who command the very winds of destiny.
I am the storm, the thunder that rumbles the night. I am the lightning that blinds you when I strike. I rise for the fight, crushing any enemies in sight. I am the storm, the pressure that gives me life. I am the storm, the pressure gives me life. I am the storm, I am the storm. I am the storm, I am the storm. When the sky goes dark, that's when I arrive. Thrive under pressure, I'ma come alive. Staring at adversity right in the eyes. I'ma shine in the shadows even when the stakes are high. Yeah, battle from the bottom and we made a name. Yeah, flooded out the gutters when we brought the rain. Yeah, stood together stronger than an iron chain. Run for cover when you feel the rumble of that thunder bang. In the chaos, I become the calm. Push me out the comfort zone, that's where I belong. Time to light the heavens up when the pressure's on. I'ma stand tall, stand strong. I am the storm, the thunder that rumbles the night. I am the lightning that blinds you when I strike. I rise for the fight, crushing any enemies in sight. I am the storm, the pressure gives me life. I am the storm, the pressure gives me life. I'm about to come alive. I am the storm. 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 Come on.
When the world questions how we persevere, how we can possibly withstand the storm before us, we look them dead in the eye and proudly proclaim that we are the storm.
Yes, I'm a relentless force of nature, pushing against your walls and making them fall like it was a ball of paper. Buried in talk of all debaters. I'm with the Hall of Famers. Yeah, I pay my dues and all the wages. You better make a way, cause I'm ruthless in pursuit of greatness. I never lose the composure to chaos. I am the calm. Push me up out of the comfort zone, that's where I belong. We finna light the heavens up whenever the pressure's on. I'ma stand tall, stand strong. I am the storm, under the rumbles at night. I am the lightning that blinds you when I strike. I rise for the fight, crushing any enemies in sight. I am the storm, the pressure gives me life. I am the storm, the pressure gives me life. I am the storm. I am the storm. I am the storm. I am the storm.
And when we enter the arena, our competitors tremble, for they know that our fury is upon them. Because we are the disruptors, the agents of chaos, the ones who refuse to settle for anything less than greatness. United as one, we possess the power to unleash a torrent of passion, grit, and will that can conquer any opposition. So let the doubters doubt, let the skeptics scoff, because that outside noise, it means nothing. The only thing that matters is our faith in each other, our conviction, our purpose, our resolve, rising as one, fighting as one,